Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
Mike.
And today, another episode of Reget or Regret. So we haven't done one of these in a while anyway, so Reget or Regret is stuff. We go through a handful of bottles that have recently been emptied. And we say, whether we, think they're worth buying, would we buy them again, stuff like that. So we'll get right into it. Randomly grab this one. What is this one? All right, so we're going to start off with 5 Trail Blended American Whiskey. We got this one for $49.99. It comes in at 95 proof. This is made by the Coors Company. And honestly, it was okay. I was getting that young... grassy.
Was this ours or Steve's?
This was ours, 100% ours. And it was. It's just not worth. It's not worth it to me. For $50, there is so much better whiskey out there at a better proof, at a better flavor. Yeah, I mean, I know Coors is doing what they're doing, but this one to me, it didn't hit my profile. Whether you can leave a comment below if you like it, but I get that grassy taste to it. It just wasn't good.
It's fair.
Yeah, and for $50, I don't want fair. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good bottles at $50.
Okay, there you go.
Speaking of a good bottle at $50, we'll segue right into it. This is Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. We actually got this one for $60 because we had to have this lug back from Kentucky years ago because it never came up here. We can get it regularly now at $49.99, and then the store next to it's going to sell it for $150, which is the crazy thing. But you can find it usually $49.99.
It's in most liquor stores here in Mass.
Yeah, no, it is. It's just funny. Some stores think it's still something special.
Heaven Hill.
Yeah. But honestly, this is absolutely delicious, and for $49.99, compared to the last one,
if you go side by side, you're definitely going to want to go to B.
Yeah, oh, definitely. So here's another one. We got this one's the quarter horse wheated Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. We got this for $23.99. And again, we got this, and this one was brought back from one of the many trips that I believe he did on there. This is an absolute banger for $23.99.
I liked everything about this. The bottle.
Yep.
The flavor.
It's only 90 proof, but for those people that like, this has a lot of flavor for a 90 proof whiskey.
Every day do you want to just beat yourself up? So, the whole operation, I think, for the price, it's definitely, if you could find it, it's definitely worth it.
I agree. And again, like you said, sometimes you want a lower proof, and there's a lot of you guys that are watching that like the lower proof one. That is a good tasting whiskey, and it's wheated. It doesn't.
I tend to like the wheat every now and then.
It doesn't taste hot at all. It drank with a ton of flavor. And that's the biggest part about it. Yeah. So speaking of a ton of flavor, this is Dunwell's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I believe we got this one up here. This is also another 90 proofer that we got. This was $19.99, and it brought shades of Buffalo Trace. Like, there was a lot of butterscotch that came out of this one, and it just, for $19.99, it was a ton of flavor in a 90 proof whiskey.
For some reason, always reminds me that it should be made for somebody.
Like Total Wine or something like that. It does have one of them bottles.
Trader Joe's or somebody. I want to say this might even be a Trader Joe's.
It might be.
I think this is Trader Joe's because
you bought that,
I believe this is a Trader Joe, and it may be made for them.
Yep.
So... for $20, it's definitely worth a try. And I don't think you're stand wrong.
It does bring you more on a butterscotch than a caramel, but if you like that flavor, it was very good. There was nothing I didn't like about that one.
I'm with you, and especially the price.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of not sure if I liked it, this is Oak and Eden. This one happened to be We Inspire. This is this one was finished with a French oak stave. Maybe the other one we don't. I thought the other one we had. We got this for $49.99. And I will tell you, this was just over oaked. Like, it was a bitter.
It did seem that way.
Rancid oak. Like, it didn't. It was like sometimes it was
almost like that smoke flavor that we did.
It was it got too much oak too fast. Like it was tannic. It left up.
The good thing, I guess,
you were like,
if you didn't like this one. These are available in this area.
Yeah,
a pretty good variety pack.
We do have one in the sack. I don't know what it's finished in.
They're like 4 or 5 in a row. So
yeah,
they are $50.
You know, it does come with a spire.
I wouldn't buy all 6 at the same time. I'd go easy.
Yeah, it does come with a spire, but I can tell you that one tasted like the oak flavor wasn't good. It left an aftertaste in your mouth that just wasn't good.
And I did talk to the liquor stores, and they were like, "Oh, it only activates for like whatever they told me." And I'm like, I'm not sure about that because it was pretty potent.
No,
it had a huge oak aftertaste.
You have to age properly, and that didn't. So speaking of aging properly, this was the Climax Whiskey Wood-Fired Appalachian White Oak by Tim Smith on the Moonshiners, if you know it. We got this for $27.99. This one also came in at 90 proof. 90 proof. But this one, at first when we cracked it, it wasn't bad. Had a nice little smoke to it, but man, it was that tannic oak again. You could really taste the difference between, some things you can't change time.
It has that aftertaste, like you're in the smoke, you're in there. I guess price wise, it's fair.
And it's aged a day.
If you're down there,
but it tastes it. That's the problem.
If you're into the whole vacation and you're there and I try it, but that'd probably be.
I would rather try his moonshine, to be honest with you, just because of that, because that oak was really tannic.
And
to
we
me.
did try his moonshine.
Yeah,
and it did have more flavor. This is fair.
Yeah,
fair, $30 fair.
All right, so this one right here just makes me laugh every time I look at it. So this is the Red Saw Bourbon Whiskey. This comes from New York. This has come at 96 proof. We got it for $29.99. This was a good bottle if you like that fresh bread dough taste. It definitely comes off with a fresh
nose too.
Bread, nose flavor, taste, all about it. 100% gives you that bread aspect. For the price, I just think it's funny because any New Yorker on there this says Red Sox to me. This doesn't say New York. And being that it's a New York distillery, I'm wondering if he's a transplant. Because you almost want to say Red Sox just when you see it. You know what I mean? So
$30.
It wasn't bad for what it is.
It falls into the correct. It's that you gotta be in the mood for that flavor of the day.
Right. If you
it's
don't
not
mind
that huge
it's
bourbon-esque everything. It
doesn't bring you to bourbon at all.
It typically brings us to New York, Virginia, PA. So,
well, we got it out of Texas one time too, but it definitely Texas. You get that fresh baked bread flavor. So if you're looking to try something with that, 100% nails it on the head.
It will.
Yeah. So this one right here is Paddle Wheel Bourbon Whiskey finished in a 200-year oak in a European cask. We got this for $29.99. So for that aspect of it, it's cheap enough. You know what I mean? It's a 90 proofer again. We did a lot of 90 proofers lately. I don't know what happened
lately,
with that,
you did.
No, this one is actually you. You picked this one up, but
I didn't finish it.
This is more. Oh, I did it. Yeah, because what am I going to put this against? 'Cause this was kind of gimmicky. It really didn't come off with a big oaky flavor.
It really didn't come off with a lot of.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was a decent $30 whiskey at 90 proof. That's it. But like me personally, I'd go get my Evan Williams bottle and bond for $17.99, and I think it would blow it out of the water. You know what I mean? It was average. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't buy it again. Let's put it.
No. Again, it's in that. So many. We got so many fair bottles over here today.
Right. So this one right here is the Blue Note Juke Joint Whiskey. This is the 93 proof one. Now I will say this kind of comes off like. Almost like a burr rye. You get the bourbon and the rye flavors that kind of intermingle between them. We got it for $34.99. Again, it's 93 proof. This is good. I would recommend if you are looking, it wasn't a whole lot more money to get the single barrel one program that comes off at a higher proof. I like that one better. But this is solid for what it is. You know, if you're looking for something different. This doesn't come to Massachusetts, though. We found this in Connecticut. I remember that because I was looking for it all over Mass. Couldn't find it because everyone was raving about it. But if you can get their cask strength, it used to be right here. It's just way better.
It's probably in the next...
in the next one. Oh, where was it? It was right behind us. Anyways, their cask strength just comes. Oh, it's right here. Their cask strength comes off way better, and it comes in at 120.5 proof, and we got this for $49.99. So for the extra $10, I'd 100% go with the single barrel. version of it. But if you do like the lower proof, that was good, and you get like a high rye bourbon flavor.
It's a fair price. Yeah, it does have a little sparkle.
Yeah,
to
it does. It kind of comes off like a high rye bourbon. So I saved the best for last because I'm sure this is the best club going today because it is like heavy.
No,
this is
bottle
all
wise.
glass.
I always said we should do infinity, but then we get screwed because it's not even big enough.
It's a 700 milliliter. And it comes in at 124.7 proof. We got it for $149.99. So a pretty bottle. This ended up, when we cracked it, we weren't impressed, but this did open up nice. And it did win a few blinds.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Price did kill us in the beginning.
Yeah.
It still does because you go fancier and heavier and less. So I
it's
still
only
have that
700.
stipulation.
Yep. No.
It's just... But it did do well in a blind. It was a very good drinker.
Yep.
It was tasty. You're not going to want 20 of these because you just got to carry the cash.
It did win in a couple blinds. It did do very well. But for that
tasty
price, there is other stuff out there. Don't get me wrong. Me personally, I think I'd still, if you could find an Old Forester store pick, they're usually sub 100. You know what I mean? Like I think they step above.
We've said that.
Yeah.
I just special occasion.
Will we get another one of them? We probably will try them.
I will, but it won't be the 90
proofer.
No, I definitely am not spending $150 for 90 proof.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably delicious. I'm not doing it.
When we cracked it, we were very negative because, well, actually, it's funny because for the first time ever, he was on the negative train because he's the one who bought it, and he was like, "How many double oaks could I get for the price of that?" And he went down the rabbit hole instead of me because normally that's me that always goes there, but It is very good, and it did very good in blinds. It is a very good taste in whiskey, but it's hard when you're pulling the trigger for that kind of price when you know there's some behind us that would compete for way less. It would for way less.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's there's our conundrum.
Right. But there you go. So there's
again, not everybody has a collection either. So
no, right. So if you could only buy one bottle, I mean that is a very solid bottle. We'll probably try another version of it, but it's. You know, it's hard when you can buy like the Jack Daniels that competes with it, and it's like $69.99, or all the Old Foresters that are way like half price. You know what I mean? So it's tough when you throw it in like that. But well, there you go.
It is smooth. It is easy.
It's a good. It is very good.
In general is not bad like that too. But
no, right. But the good thing with Woodford too is they have their regular.
They
have their regular one. So if you don't want to spend the money, there's tons. We still haven't tried their malt either. I wanted to try that. They got a malt one. So. There you go. There's Regret or Regret. Again, as always, leave a comment down below. We love to hear from everybody. If you agree, disagree, that's fine. It just, I like to see. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.
That still is a pretty bottle.
Mm-hmm.